Today is Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor 43, Week 8.
This week's episode is titled Preposterous. And this is a new twist. It was written by Sami, but I'm pretty sure it was spoken by Cody. I didn't get that the first time. I was looking at they were working on the raft, using some of the extra paint from the tribe flag, and it was dude time. Preposterous is what they have named the raft. We'll talk a little more about that when we get there. So how are you feeling, first and foremost? You're coming off the double earache that was pretty
double
severe.
Ear infection, but I feel much better. My energy's not all the way back, but I was able to go to physical therapy.
Yeah.
One day, so that was good. And I'm a little congested still, and coffee, but I'm hanging.
Not coffee as in the drink, but coffee as in caffeine.
Yeah, no. But the big thing is no pain. Yay!
Yay! I have a theory about your double ear infection.
Why would anyone care?
It was humorous, I guess, in the end.
Okay.
This,
all right, well,
to me
it's
at least.
Humorous then.
Yes. So I am a student teacher. I'm being certified to learn how to teach ukulele, teach music, teach ukulele, and I need a student. And I need to be able to write up 4 teaching episodes, 4 teaching sessions. I need to be able to write a teacher's log associated with that. So I said, "Hey, babe, can I teach you these?" Did I say 4? I meant 5. 5 lessons. I just need to teach you 5. And you're like, no, not interested. Did not want to be taught by me. You eventually, I'll say, capitulated and agreed, and then promptly got an ear infection.
Yeah.
Which completely took that off the table.
Well, I wasn't planning to do anything but sit there and listen anyway, or
yes.
at least nap.
Yeah, sure. Nap, like okay, right.
I'm sorry, baby, I don't want to play ukulele.
Evidently, so much so that an ear infection ensued.
Maybe somebody out there has a ukulele and would like a few free lessons.
I'm interested, yes, if you have a ukulele or interested in getting one and learning a little about music. I am a student teacher working on my certification, and I would love to offer you some lessons. You can be anywhere in the world. We'll work out a time and figure it out, and we'll do it online. It involves a lot of echo work because Zoom and FaceTime and Google Meetings and all those things, it's a little different teaching that way.
So
I'm sure everybody
have to know how to do that.
Yeah, but we'll work it out. So, yeah, if you're at all interested, just shoot me an email at joanneandstacyshow@gmail.com.
Please. Somebody who wants to do it.
And we can dig in and have a fun time learning about the ukulele and maybe playing some songs and stuff. Double ear infection to get out of it. Wow. That was that's a whole new level. Okay, let's get to the... It
wasn't worth it. Or, I don't know, maybe that wasn't.
Let's get to the episode. We're back at Gaia, the Mother Earth tribe there on night 14, and Cody's talking about the big move. And he was surprised that Sami joined in. And he was also talking about how the knowledge is power had kicked off a panic and idols were shuffling.
I wonder why Cody was so surprised that Sami jumped in. I guess just because he wasn't aware that Sami was aware of what was happening, or
Or more than likely, he was thinking somewhat logically. Cody's demonstrated the ability to think strategically, and he's wondering, why would Sami be willing to be 7 in an alliance of 7, number 7? But I guess, it gets you more time in the game. I would do the same thing.
Yeah, but Sami could wonder, why would Cody and Jesse be 5 and 6 in alliances?
So next we see Sami trying to explain himself to Janine and Owen. And he said, look, I found out that Jesse and Cody were flipping. And that's pretty much what we suspected. Yeah, he would say, there just wasn't enough time to tell you. And when I saw that, I decided to get on the right side of the vote.
Janine was so whiny.
You saw it as whiny?
I saw it as whiny.
Okay.
I wrote whiny Janine.
Well,
you're breaking my heart.
She
Sami.
lost an ally. She lost her immunity bracelet. 2 really huge losses in the course of the game. So she was shocked that the bracelet was gone. And she was crying as she was sharing part of this in the confessional and having the discussion with Sami and Owen. And she said the idol was in Dwight's crotch.
Okay.
Sami is trying to placate her. And he said, well, no one was considering working with you while you had an idol.
Placate.
Okay.
All right.
Tomato, maybe?
I don't know. Don't care. It sounded funny to me. Carry on.
And Sami also shares that in a discussion with Noelle and James and Cassidy. No one was...
they're laughing, and they're,
jolly.
And
yes.
He left with it in his pocket, ha, ha, ha. Well, who surprised the heck out of me?
Mm-hmm. Jesse.
My USB Jesse said, Dwight gave it to me.
He actually gave me the idol.
I have it.
Yeah.
And I still have Cody's, too.
So that rascal Dwight, he was lying to everyone in the interviews.
Guess so.
Yeah.
Well, he couldn't tell. It hadn't come out yet, so...
Yeah.
I can't blame him for that.
Well, really, all he needed to say was, nope, I did not return that to Janine. And I'm so sorry, Janine. And no one would have missed a beat. I think they just would have went right along. Anyway.
Jesse not telling her.
Well, and Jesse says he's actually sitting on 2 of them. He was still holding.
I just said that with Cody.
With Cody's.
Yeah, good on him. Cody hadn't asked for it back yet. So I guess Cody figures he trusts him. And, there are people that still know it's still out there, and they still know he has one. So he's in no hurry to take it back and risk losing it, like Janine did. So Jesse starts telling them the story about, or he's talking to Karla and talking about when he first met with his family, and, he didn't speak Spanish and had trouble communicating with them.
They had started working on the banner, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Owen shares. Mm-hmm. I don't think we've seen Owen share openly a lot, have we? Anyway, he tells us he was adopted and that he mostly rejected his culture.
His Korean culture, yeah.
Yeah, that his parents were not Korean. And... But he doesn't understand why no one wants to align with him. He keeps trying, but it's a no-go.
It's the lack of alliances in the game is triggering these old childhood issues for him. Because he said his parents provided a wonderful life for him, and he really just wanted to fit in, be a regular kid. But because he looked different, it caused some isolation for him, and he's being isolated in the game. So this often happens with... the players, is it can all kinds of things from your previous life.
Issues, it will.
They will get triggered.
Being out there will help bring things up for you.
Yeah.
If you still have things to deal with, they'll show up.
Owen is definitely not on the bus.
And he's hoping, at least he still has hope, that some of the others on the bottom will join with him.
I liked how he framed it at the end, which is what you're alluding to.
Okay.
He said that he wanted to have fun, wanted to hit the reset button, and he wanted to find someone to help him, join him in the underdog uprising.
Yep.
And we see, along those lines, next we see Noelle and Janine and Owen talking about how They're all on the bottom, but they need 2 more. And Noelle's talking about how she just doesn't believe those 7 will stay strong. And I keep thinking, every time I see Noelle on the screen during the episode, when is she going to mention the steal a vote and how they can take advantage of it in this scenario?
And she kept not saying
She did not say anything here, yes.
Well, and I think she's struggling because she was talking about everything's just moving so fast.
Mm-hmm.
That was an issue for her.
Next, we bounce over to James and Karla and Jesse and Cassidy having a discussion. James is ecstatic. He's saying, hey, we've got a lock. This final 7, we'll ride it to 7. Hooray.
Well, and he is targeting Owen big time. Wants him out, doesn't trust him.
Says
Not
Owen
sure
is
why.
a snake. That was his rationale. Owen is a snake.
I'm not sure where that's
Well,
coming
and
from,
then he
but-
says, and he voted for me.
Oh, there
Twice.
we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah.
We need to take him out.
That's all we needed to hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's
I
not
get that.
he's not 100% chill, maybe 99% chill, but there's a little side. We saw it when Dwight got voted out too, didn't we? Mm-hmm. He was ear to ear grinning and fist pumping, and
Yep.
yeah, he was gloating a little when they got Dwight. So next on his hit list is Owen.
Day 16. Karla had a food dream.
Yes, everybody's talking about food, but she so they had an off day on 15, basically, right? It was paint the tribe flag and just rest.
It seemed like it.
Yeah, and then 16, at least from what we were given in the episode, 16, it's time to share those food dreams. She's dreaming of chicken, and then Probst shows up,
Yeah.
and then he had some ramen that he made, and then he asked them to all gather around for selfie time.
Selfies. Okay.
Vivid
yeah, Probably
dreams.
not happening.
Vivid island dreams. Sami wants to order one thing from every category in the menu. That's where his head's at, food-wise.
Because he
What-
never does that.
Why? What did you think of Ryan's? Did you catch Ryan's?
Oh, yes, of course, with the 2 pizzas.
He's going to order 2
wrapped
pizzas.
around a burrito.
Yes, and then wrap the pizzas around 2
sounds
big
like
burritos.
I thought
that sounded
you
wonderful.
and Stacy get along great. on
Yeah,
that.
I would totally eat those with you. I think you're onto something. We may have to start a franchise. Oh.
Yeah, I'm with Cody. Yuck. No, thank you.
Gabler? Well,
He
he
don't need no food
Right.
to win this game.
doesn't need to eat. He's good. He can coast for the next 10 days. No problemo. And I
But-
bet you he says no problemo.
Like you do?
He's losing weight.
Yep, but he's been on the wrong side of the vote. And he needs to get closer to Ryan, so he's going to work Ryan a little bit.
Wants to go out and
Helps
learn
him
some of Ryan's
Clean
spearfish.
the fish.
Some of his spearfishing secrets, too.
Yeah, but then you see Cody out there with him, not Gabler.
And we see Ryan talking more about how his big focus is on being the provider. He is making his value to the tribe be his hard work ethic and his ability to deliver fish, and he's part of that strong 7. So he's got some comfort in that.
Well, and he says he totally trusts the 7. So how do you think he was feeling at home tonight, seeing that his name was up?
Those
They were
rascals.
Just going, okay.
He did all that work for them. He fed them over and over and over, and that's the thanks
said
he gets.
Enjoyed it.
Next, we see Karla talking to Cody. She asks him, do you feel good about the 7, Cody? Cody is, yes. He is solid on the 7. And then
Oh, I thought Karla was talking to Jesse.
okay, well, I wrote Cody.
Okay.
And I believe she said Cody. So,
No, I could be wrong.
me too. Next, we see Sami finally waking up a little bit and saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. Where do I fall in this 7? I want to actually win this thing. I don't want to be the guy voted out at the
Well,
final 7.
Since he wasn't necessarily invited into the 7, he just kind of jumped on board. I think that should tell him where he is in the
Yes.
7.
Yeah, well,
Now, it doesn't mean that couldn't change.
he's pretty clear at this point, it seems like.
Obviously, since they were ready to vote Ryan out too. So, I'm not sure who Karla wouldn't vote out.
As long as it's not her, she's good to go.
Hey, it worked for Sandra.
Yep. And we see Sami circle back around to Owen and Janine, and they end up talking about how we hear Owen say they need one more to take control.
There's us three, Gabler and Nicole. It's like, well, if they obviously don't know Nicole has the steal a vote because they didn't need anybody else with the steal a vote.
Where was it?
But we didn't see them make a move. So it's like, where did that go?
I gotta think it came up. How could that not come up? If you had an opportunity, that would be so hard to resist. If you had an opportunity to come out of the minority alliance and be the majority alliance, or at least even things up, draw even because of that extra vote, that would have been the play to make. Well, maybe we'll find out down the road how that, if that was discussed or not. Although, yeah, we'll talk about it when we get to next time on Survivor.
Well, obviously James is comfortable with Sami because he's talking to him about how Owen's a flipper and he's very dangerous.
Gotta go.
Get him out.
Gotta go.
So.
Owen the flipper, he says. Yep.
Okay, next up, the immunity challenge, still day 16.
Classic. Yep. Definitely seen this one before. Got to balance a ball on a circular little platform, and you extend the reach of it a section at a time. Every 5 minutes, you make the pole a little longer for balancing.
Oh, that would just kill my neck.
Yeah.
Looking at that ball all night long, trying to keep an eye on it and not drop it.
The ball drops,
goodness.
You are out.
Okay, I was thinking, now, I thought the tribe was going to approach Probst about getting
as we had seen
food.
In the past. Yes.
And that's not what happened at all.
No, he preempted him.
Brings out a big bag of rice and said, hey, this will last you at least 4 days and more if you ration it. Mm-hmm. So who wants to sit out?
Started the same place he did in the negotiation when the castaways brought it up in season 42. His first response back to them was 5 players, and they talked him down to 4. James tried this time.
Yeah.
And he was solid. No, today it's 5, and by the way, tomorrow it'll be more.
So this is a one-time go, take it or leave it.
Cinched it at 5, yeah. So Sami, it took him a little bit of time, but Sami, Jesse, Karla, James, and Cassidy end up sitting out.
I thought James was smarter than that to tell Owen
hey, come on, step out. Owen, you're protected.
You're safe.
We got you. You're protected.
And I thought, you just told him you're not safe. You better not.
Yeah.
He is after you.
Well, maybe his acting skills are right up there with Ryan's.
So the people who really were safe, or certainly appear to be safe, are the ones that stepped up and did it to get the food. Mm-hmm. And they didn't have to do the challenge.
I like that Karla took advantage of it, too. She could have just stepped forward and said that she would do it. But she said, well, I got this bum hand. So she's lowering her threat profile at the same time. Didn't cost her anything. She's putting that out there. I wouldn't be able to do this challenge, and my hand's messed up. And so, yep, I will do that.
I'm no threat.
Mm-hmm. Pretty smart.
Somebody needs to
Pretty
be
smart.
Observing how big a threat Karla is, but nobody seems to be. Everybody's telling her everything. Mm-hmm. They just tell Karla every little secret. We can tell Karla.
Yep. Let me check with Karla and see what she thinks about my idea.
Yeah. Okay, so James, Sami, Jesse, Cassidy, and Karla all sit out. No immunity for them.
Yep. When Probst asked them how they decided, Sami says, well, in the beginning I was all about the competition, but as the game has gone on, it has taken a toll, and we need some food.
Right now it's more about I need some carbs.
So we got 6 competing for immunity. At each new stage, so they go for 5 minutes, and then they have 30 seconds to add another section of the balance pole. And it's a live transition. Sometimes with these challenges, they'll give them time to make the change, and if they step off or they drop or whatever, then they can reset, but not this time.
They stayed live, and they had 30 seconds to do things. It's like, whoa, 30 seconds.
It's always harder when they put a time limit on things. Doesn't matter what it is.
Always.
Yeah.
It increases the anxiety.
So you got to keep your hand under the lowest line of the sectioned pole.
Jeff's got to see it.
One thing that seemed different that I don't recall seeing before, just could be my my bad memory, but there was a small lip on that plate. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't remember seeing that before.
I don't ever remember seeing it either.
Yeah, maybe it's just been a while and I've forgotten, but there was something to keep it from immediately rolling off.
This ball was wrapped in something that was a little
Yeah, it was pretty big, so there wasn't a lot of surface. I guess it would have been over quicker for sure if that lip wasn't there. So I imagine
and it wasn't much of a lip,
it
but
was necessary.
Was at least something. Yeah. It gave you a fighting chance.
So they add in the first additional section, and we lose Janine and Noelle.
No, we lost them after that second section.
Was it the second one that they added? Okay.
Yeah. Well, they had the initial one, and then they added a second. And that's when Janine and Noelle were out.
I thought that was exactly what I just said, but okay, we got it now.
Add a third, and Gabler's out. He didn't make it.
So we got Cody, Ryan, and Owen facing off, and so they've got a balance for 5 minutes, and then it's add another section.
Fourth section, and Ryan ends up dropping. I don't know how he hadn't dropped already. That was so. It was
a big lean,
crooked,
right? At the top.
Big lean.
He thought he was onto something. He was actually, and I was surprised that you could rest it. Like, I never saw Owen resting it on any body part, but Ryan was resting the pole.
And it looked like Cody
on his forehead,
on his pants or something.
Cody was on it, at least on his waist, so he was anchoring to his waist. And then it's a showdown between Cody and Owen.
Yes, I was cheering for Owen.
Yeah, I was too. I wanted underdog. I'm always cheering for the underdogs, I think.
Because Cody wasn't in any danger. So I just wanted to cheer for him. So I was like, oh, Owen.
Time for the final section, or what ends up being the final section, and Cody drops. He's not able to complete the transition, I guess.
That was way up there. It's really hard to hold something that high up.
Yeah, it was good competition. Once again, Cody goes right down to second and loses. Owen's ecstatic. He has realized his childhood dream. Probst makes sure to mention it.
Even if he goes home next, I will feel better about it, that he at least got that experience.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the editors have been fantastic to him, and now he's won individual immunity.
Woohoo!
He's checking those boxes. The likelihood that he's going to end up being our winner seems bleak and unlikely at this point, but who knows? But, you take everything you can get, and this victory was special for him. He's dropping all the old schoolers who won challenges, all the ones he looked up to when he was a kid. And then as we exit the challenge, we get a quick confessional from Gabler, and he's saying me, Janine, and Noelle are in the hot seat now, and I got to dodge that thing.
And Owen is very relieved that he has immunity when they get back to camp.
Everybody's congratulating him. Nice work, buddy.
And he thought James was being very patronizing to tell him that he was safe.
You're protected. Go ahead.
But he did say it gave him a little extra something in the tank.
Yeah.
To try to win that. So who knows? James might have been the reason he won.
Sami is not super focused on Owen's win. He's more about the food. He's asking everyone, "We're gonna eat, right? We're gonna eat now. Gonna fix some rice."
Oh, I was thinking that was Cody too, but
I think we find out that Cody ends up being the one that was there cooking it.
Yeah. Okay, Ryan tells everyone it's Janine. Okay. We've decided now, and he's off to go fishing.
Yeah, he just needed to sort this out, and now he can go fish for 2 or 3 hours.
He didn't want him to think just rice was okay. He gonna go get him some fish. He wants to remind them that, rice without fish, not that good.
Mm-hmm.
So you still need me.
Yep, everybody seems to be on board. He checks in with Karla and Sami and Noelle, Janine, yep. Checks in with Cody, Janine, yep, okay. That only took 10 minutes. He tells us now I can go fish for the next 3 hours.
And everybody's like, he feels so safe and confident. He'd just go out there in the water and fish. And have a good time and not even worry about this vote.
Yeah, we see Cody checking in with Jesse. Janine, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll do Janine. We'll vote her out. And Cody's happy because they're cruising with that 7 alliance.
Yep, we're in full control.
And then we see, this is when we get the title, we see Sami and Cody working on the raft with that leftover paint. And they have named or dubbed the raft the Preposterous Bro, with a subtitle of Live to Get Radical. Livin. All right.
Okay.
All right, now here comes the plan, the alternate plan. We see Sami and Janine and Owen talking, and they agree to target Ryan.
Well, then Sami asked Karla about getting Ryan out.
Even though we were talking about how everyone talks to Karla, I thought that was going to be Noelle. And then we were going to get the steal a vote, and this was going to come together. But no, that was not the case. Mm-hmm. It's time to share everything with Karla.
Well, this isn't the first time Karla's just been like, yeah, that's all right with me.
Her response was,
we got to get rid of him at some point.
No
He's
problem.
Very strong.
And Ryan's a big threat. And the last thing that she said, we got Rice. We don't really need him anymore.
Okay. Cassidy is also okay with it.
Oh, well, she's got a score to settle with him because of all those lies and the way he was trying to lead her on, and she saw right through it.
Yep.
Gonna get a little bit of revenge for Lindsay as her plan. Who else do we see talking about taking out Ryan?
James apparently
is on board.
Okay with it.
At least at a point.
Yeah, at least in the beginning, till he started thinking about it. And then he went back to Cassidy and Karla and started saying, well, Janine's more unknown, and so that makes her more of a threat. And Cassidy
when
was having none of it.
Yeah, Sami was there, James, Jesse, and Cody and Cassidy, and yeah, he was saying, we can get Ryan another time, come to think of it.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know how Karla feels because she didn't say, but certainly Cassidy made it plain that she didn't like all this voting all the women off.
Yes.
And she was very outspoken about it. And she's like, I'm going to fight for my game.
Meanwhile, Ryan returns with 21 fish. Well, that's pretty good.
That is good.
Definitely enough. Even though most of them are small, it's definitely enough so everybody can have a little.
I would certainly probably keep him around for a while for that. I'd be like, ooh, fish and rice. Yep, that works for me.
Gabler is desperate to find out who to vote for because no one's told him yet.
Well, why would they tell him anything? He can't not tell things.
Yeah.
Even if they say don't tell. He wouldn't be able to. They all know that. I think that's why they don't tell him things. It's just, we can't trust you. We all know we can't trust you. Don't expect us to tell you who to vote for, at least until we get there. When it's time to vote, we'll whisper to you. But,
And we get one last confessional from Cassidy, and she says that she's ready to rock the boat, and it's a cutthroat game. And I wrote in my notes, nobody said anything about steal a vote. It didn't come up.
We had this whole theory, you and I. That's why I chose James to go home, because I thought, well, wait a minute, they could really make this happen if Noelle just uses her steal a vote.
Yep.
And I had thought, oh, well, James could steal it, but he seems to be just kind of backplaying that. Nobody brought it up that we know of. Mm-hmm. And they didn't show it if they did.
Well, there's no need to show it if it doesn't get played. I understand that part too, and they make choices like that in the edit all the time.
But we were so sure that was going to come into play.
Yeah.
And I thought, they're going to pop James because he's got,
so you thought,
they want the knowledge of power out of here.
Yeah, you thought that they would most likely go for James, and I thought, well,
or Nicole.
Her name's Noelle.
Noelle.
If Noelle is the one getting to call the shot by leveraging her advantage, I thought she might just get some revenge on Jesse. So.
Well, I thought Owen was in danger too, which of course he was, but.
Yeah, there were several options to pick from, and there you could, there was a story for each one for sure.
I don't know why I've been saying Nicole for Noelle, but just in case you hear me say that and
She
Stacy
means
doesn't
Noelle.
catch it, I mean Noelle.
Because she's been hard on this line for a week now.
I know.
She was good right up until last week.
I know who Noelle is. I know
She
her
had
name.
an ear infection.
Just fine. And then I went stupid.
And now she's misnaming her. Tribal Council Night 16. Probst says the big topic in all the Survivor games is the social contract that the tribe ends up setting up with each other because the players decide the rules. It's part of the secret sauce of Survivor.
Uh-huh. But then they change it the very next breath.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, Gabler says their rules are about relationships and you don't step out of line. Karla adds in, though, well, it's about being subtle. Sometimes you need to be seen so that people can understand how you end up winning the game. If they don't know your resume, they can't really vote for you if you're
that's very true.
silent and in the background.
We've seen it many times in the past. It's like, well, okay, you played a good game, but you kept it so under the radar, nobody's believing you yet.
Ryan tells us that, well, he's comfortable right now and he's enjoying the now.
Yeah, well, that's the quickest way to leave the game, is to get comfortable.
Owen says, well, not all of us can be out for 3 hours. He really just was hoping to be on the bus with the vote this time.
Yeah, he said he wasn't going to throw himself in front of anybody else. He just wants to stay on the dang bus this time.
Yeah.
Forget throwing himself in front of anybody.
Sammy's always looking for an opportunity to be a contrarian or to throw a different angle on things. He said, well, the last 2 vote outs were blindsides, so not everybody's comfortable.
Yeah.
and on the bus.
And James tells us how fluid everything is. Constantly moving.
Each day a new line, he said. Yeah.
Janine said, yeah, things change and shift. And Cody gets even more nervous when he gets comfortable, which is the way it should be, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and that's when he was talking about how he went to cook the rice, and then he looked up at one point and nobody was there. They were all having discussions.
Well, wait, I thought we were going to eat first. Ryan's like, well, but I caught 21 fish today.
Yeah.
It's like, and that is great. I don't mean
Someone
to
pat me on the back.
Well, yeah, I'd pat him on the back and the butt too if he brought me 21 fish. No problem.
Janine, though, tells us that she is not comfortable. She was out there working, hustling, trying to connect. You never know how things are going to play out.
I wonder if she knows at this point that she's leaving. You think? I couldn't see it if it.
No, the pattern here is blindside.
Yeah.
Cody's talking about how it's now a game of centimeters or even less. And you got to watch everything, all kinds of small signals.
Yeah, one word or even one body gesture can just change everything. Somebody will read something into it.
Yeah, you might miss a microaggression if you're not paying attention.
And Sami tells us how the rules are amended all the time. It's going to be chaos and war around here.
Yeah, he's saying all this stuff about moving quietly and trust, that's just a crock of crap.
Yep.
Nonsense, he says.
Well, I thought, when we saw the votes coming in and there were a couple for Ryan, I thought, oh, maybe it's Ryan. And then it was Janine.
No idols or advantages were played.
Again.
Yeah. Well, and I kept thinking, well, maybe they're going to surprise us. Maybe they're going to read these for Janine and come back and then blow it out with Ryan. But that was not the case.
Nope.
She gets voted out, and we are informed that she is first on jury.
Yes. So, for those of you who chose Janine as your vote off tonight, you got 2 points.
Yeah. Extra point for that.
Yep. Okay, so the 2 people that voted for Ryan were, of course, Janine and Cassidy.
She's just desperate to settle that Lindsay score.
Well, and if nothing else, just hey, I'm throwing one your way, dude. So, but everyone else voted for Janine, so she got 9 votes.
I got so caught up in our idea for how the underdogs were going to take control that I feel a little disappointed with the end result.
Yep. Well.
And I didn't want them to successfully, the 7 in control, to take out yet another of the underdogs. So I think I appreciated how the episode played out, but because I wanted a different result, I'm not as stoked about it somehow.
Yeah, I wonder what nipped Sammy's enthusiasm to take control in the bud. I mean, it just all of a sudden, they didn't seem to be talking about it anymore.
He was standing there when James decided not to go with the Ryan vote, so he saw it fall apart.
Well, they didn't need James. If everybody else was on board, why give him that much power?
You got to give Sami credit for he's reading the room. He's talking to everybody. He's sitting in on these conversations. Maybe he's not always saying things, but he's figuring out
and James
which way the wind's blowing.
Was talking to Sami and including him.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that made him relax a little bit. But I don't know. I still think so much more happened than we got to see, of course.
Yeah, maybe. It's certainly the case because it didn't affect the outcome. They go, well, all right, we're going to let that go. Maybe we'll get some hints and clues in the interviews. Maybe Janine will have some additional insights for us as to where exactly it fell apart.
Okay, next on Survivor. Owen is talking to Sami and Gabler, and he is obviously upset with James.
Well, I don't get it, though. Why? James lied to my face.
We don't know.
Yeah.
James lied to my face. Who does he think he is?
Blah, blah, blah.
He's not the Godfather.
You're on the bottom. You're not in the loop.
He might as well be, because they voted out who he wanted. And so far, it's kind of been going his way.
Well, I guess, actually, he was
might
on
be the
the
Godfather.
bus this time, wasn't he? He did vote for Janine. Owen, that is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know where his outrage is coming from.
I don't know. Something must happen. Maybe they'll show us.
It seemed misplaced. And, yeah, you're not in control, so...
And then James says, if you break trust with James, you go home.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm thinking he's still after Owen. But Noelle, now she wants to use. And who does she tell?
Karla. My girl Karla.
I love it that they keep doing that.
Noelle says in a confessional, we also see her say, I woke up this morning wanting to make a big move. And I'm thinking, I bet that's a day too late. Anyway, I was still stuck on that alternate underdog outcome.
Well, and she tells Karla, so if it's not the way Karla wants it to go,
Yeah, it ain't
then
gonna happen.
I'll just have James steal a vote.
Yeah.
And we'll steal your vote with it.
And vote you out.
And send
Insult
you
to
home.
injury.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it looks like it's tracking the way we thought. Because Probst, we see him at the challenge, and Probst tells him...
It's definite. He flat out said it.
Yeah, that's right. He did say it's a double elimination. So
And 2 people are going home. You can't get much clearer.
2 immunity necklaces. So this is what we were thinking. They're going to divide up into 2 teams of 5 to compete. And then each of those 2 teams will go to tribal council.
And vote 1 person off each.
Yeah, and that's how we'll get a double elimination next week. So think about that for your picks. Good luck trying to figure out who's on which team and who's going to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that always makes it extra fun.
Yes,
huh?
yes, it does.
Okay.
And once again, Sami is ready to change the game up. He's like a broken record.
Where did I hear that before?
Yeah. And Cody tells us we're on the Autobahn to $1 million. So he's got money in his eyes now.
Yeah, but that confidence makes me nervous. He said it makes him nervous, but he makes me nervous when he gets that confident, too.
Janine had a nice little wrap-up speech. Talked about how she appreciated all of her experience and the gratitude she had.
And how much she learned about herself.
And that she had contentment.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the way to go, for sure.
Awesome. I really like
Only one
that.
person's going to win, so that's the other way to win, in a sense.
Yep. Now
is to
go
approach the
feed
game
that
that
little
way.
body. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's very tiny
Yeah,
now.
that's the flip side. You're somewhat relieved, aren't you?
So Janine can eat. Oh, thank you.
She's going to Ponderosa. Maybe we'll get a video of her chowing down.
That would be nice.
She could put on a good 30 pounds and double her weight.
Oh, I don't think she need. That's so bad, not double her weight. But she is tiny.
Yes.
I expect
Minuscule.
she'll always be tiny. So.
Yes.
But just gain a little weight back at least, just so she's.
I think
'cause
one
her
meal will
arms
probably
are
do
so
that.
Tiny.
Yeah. Did you see how veiny she was?
No,
It was
I didn't
crazy.
notice
She was
that.
popping. Her arms were popping.
Well, I've wanted to doctor her chin for weeks now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's weeks for us.
Yeah.
Just day 16 for her. Not
Yeah.
even that long that she
Still,
had it
that's
bruised
a
up.
long time to have that owie chin and all of that. She's pretty beat up and banged up.
Yeah, she was getting bandaged on her knees and on her back and all kinds of stuff. So she definitely played hard. I enjoyed her spirit in the
She
game.
did, and she was way, way more athletic than I ever dreamed she would be.
Yeah.
So, and I think she had a very good strategy. It just, she put her all eggs in the Ellie basket, and yeah, they broke.
Yeah. Yep.
And she just couldn't seem to get another leg up.
No, not in that amount of time. I'm surprised. Normally, someone with her threat profile just falls into the background, but James put the bullseye on her and kept it there. So it goes. Yet another woman out of the game.
I'm really surprised that Cassidy, well, she didn't vote for it, but she must have known it, agreed for it to happen, but with the stipulation that she ain't gonna vote for her.
Yeah, maybe not. How about a JSFL update?
I can do that. All right. Dina is now, or is it Dinah? Dina? I'm going to say Dina. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is in first place with 37 points. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
104 people lost a safe point.
2 of which?
You and I. 29 people earned the 2-point vote off for first on jewelry.
Sweet. Good job.
And there were 10 USBs lost.
Ouch.
In the side challenge, Jeremiah still in first with 35 points, with 33 Parker, 32 Justin, and Robert. With 31, you have Chris, Rebecca, and Stacy, and 29 Cold Mike.
I had just got back into the middle of the pack, and I slipped again.
Yep.
Right back down.
You slipped and
I got
fell.
some good company. Well, we're looking forward to hearing what you thought about this episode. Did you think they were going to make it? Were the underdogs going to win their way back into control? Or are you with this Super 7? You think they're going to stick together? Are they going to do it? Are they going to stay a solid 7 until they have to turn on each other?
You know what excited me the most?
What's that?
Was that Jesse's sitting on that extra item.
Oh, yeah.
And
Your USB?
And
or...
I'm not sure anybody else knows it.
No, definitely not that one. And he was very clear that he understood what knowledge is power really means and that he wasn't going to share that. So good on Jesse for sure. How do you think it's going to play out in this double elimination? That's definitely something to mull over as we head into the next episode.
It would be lovely to see James try to target Cody, take Cody's idol or something, and bam, it's out of play. Knowledge is power's a bust. If Jesse's still at it, I'd like to see something happen with it.
Okay, here's a scenario for you. James ends up on the team with Gabler, Janine.
Oh yeah.
Sami.
Oh man.
Oh, sorry, not Janine. Gabler, Sami, Owen, and Noelle. I don't know who the other is there, but is that 5? Yeah, that's 5. So that's one scenario that may not play out well for James. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could.
Oh wow, so many things could happen because we don't know who's going to be. They'll probably draw right there at the challenge, right?
Yes.
For teams?
Yep, correct.
So we have no clue.
No, not unless they share something extra in a commercial or an extra clip they drop.
Yep. Well, my goodness, that'll make it harder.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to hearing what you thought about this week's episode and all these events and any predictions you may have going forward. We're all going to need some help in JSFL this week. The voicemail line, 206-350-1414. 1547, toll free 8446-438737. You can record your own voice and send it in as an attachment on email to Joanne and Stacy Show at gmail.com, or you can write it up and we'll read it into the listener feedback show on your behalf. We're having a blast with the listener feedback shows. We'd love to have you come take a part. Who knows? Maybe something specific about your walk in life that helps you, gives you an insight that we haven't covered in the recap here, or might could help us see the game in a totally different light. Anything else?
I don't think so. I need to mull things over before Saturday.
Yes. And just a quick reminder, if you're interested in ukulele lessons.
Oh, yeah.
I'm your guy.
Please.
Same email address.
Help me.
Yeah. We don't want to subject Joanne to any further ear infections. So
Yeah.
you'll be doing a good deed for sure. Oh, goodness. Anything else?
No pressure, though.
Have a good one.